Here's our NHL analyst, Martin Biron, who lives in the Buffalo area, so we're going to make sure that he's okay. In just a second, he's got some stories about his plow. But first, let's talk about Ilya Samsonov, Marty. First NHL start since December the 29th. Fifth straight loss for him, but, you know, a lot of talk on Twitter about him having a pretty strong game. In your opinion, was that right? What did you think of how he played?
Yeah, I think it was a fair assessment. He looked very comfortable early in the game. Almost like casual in the way that he was playing, much more calm, much more cerebral. He wasn't chasing anything. So for me, that was great. That's what you wanted to see out of Samsonov, especially early on, making a couple of saves where the puck hits him in the chest, right? His positioning was great. And then later in the game, I got to see him a little bit more edgy, where on rebounds, he was like quick to recover and try to get to the next spot. And then with the one that really I was starting to ask myself some questions as a former goalie was the poke check on Daniel Sprong breakaway early in the third period. Because when I would start to throw away the poke check and trying to be too aggressive is when I was losing a little bit of my confidence. I didn't think I could make that save. So I'm like, I got to do something really crazy like a poke check. And so that's the one. Look, it's not going to be fixed and just having a week and a half of practice and then all of a sudden everything is okay. But it started really well, and then I think more of the normal stuff crept into Samsonov's game where he got a little bit on edge, tried to overdo a couple of things, and the poke check was the one thing that really started to put the question mark in my mind. But I think overall you have to say it's a fair game for Samsonov. Not great, but a good first step back.
Maybe the bigger concern, Marty, I mean, Sheldon Keefe, he mixes up the lines after that disappointing loss to Colorado on Saturday. But maybe the bigger concern is the fact this Detroit Red Wings team didn't show up into Toronto until a couple hours before puck drop. Like, you think you've got them right where they want them, and the Leafs kind of came out flat. Are you as concerned about that as much of the fan base seems to be?
Yeah, I'm concerned about it because the Leafs found out early afternoon that the game was going to most likely be delayed so they could adjust their routine, not come into the rink at 4:30, and then all of a sudden you're playing at 8 o'clock, so you're waiting around and you're wasting time. But sometimes it's good for Detroit, right? They played last night, did not get out of town, rush to Toronto this afternoon, and you just go and play a game. And I felt like the Leafs in the first period were flat. Maybe the delayed time and everything, but 3 power plays, nothing to come about. And Sheldon Keefe is switching up his line, right? Holmberg is on the first line. Marner drops a line to the second. Tavares on the third line. But he wants to play complementary hockey where the offense and defense kind of stick together. You're not looking to win 7-5, but you're also not looking to win 1-0. But the problem here is that only 2 times, I should say, in the last 8 games that the Leafs scored more than 3 goals. And in the last 3 games, they gave up 4, 5, and 4. Now, I know there's a couple of empty netters in there, but still, you're not finding the right complementary game for Sheldon Keefe. Now, the top 3 lines I thought were okay. 5-on-5, they did their job. Unfortunately, it was the 4th line that was on the ice on the 2nd and 3rd goal, the ones that really mattered for the Leafs in that loss to Detroit. So I think that the top 3 lines can continue to try to find their rhythm, but you can't be a 4th liner and be on the ice for 2 goals against in the 3rd period. So that, to me, is concerning as well if you're Sheldon Keefe.
Leafs face Toronto on Tuesday. Marty, we want to wrap up by talking about this snowstorm in Buffalo. How has it been? You've got the plow out, you're helping out, but how nervous are you for your Buffalo Bills against the Steelers on Monday afternoon?
Well, I'm kind of excited and happy that they're playing it on Monday because I feel like the elements on Sunday afternoon would have completely crushed whatever football would have been played. It would have neutralized the talent for the Bills. So clearer skies, maybe better elements, and the Bills will be okay. But people have to understand that in Buffalo, you may be downtown Buffalo and it's blue skies, right? And 20 minutes, 15 minutes south of the city, it's a complete blizzard and it's a mess. I drove around with my plow a couple of times this afternoon on Sunday afternoon, to be able to kind of do a couple of driveways and all. And you couldn't see 15 feet in front of the plow in front of your truck. Like, that's how bad it was on Sunday afternoon. You wouldn't have even been able to drive to the stadium or play a football game. So I'm happy they moved it to Monday. It's a lot safer for everybody. But I am fully confident. That's why I wore that tie for my Bills, the red and blue. Let's go Bills.
There you go. The Mafia is ready, and Marty's part of the Mafia. Thanks for this, pal. Good luck to you on Monday.
Thanks, Jay.